Hi everyone, this is me and my 14-year-old mare, Hoku. She's an Appaloosa, and today we're working on desensitization with an umbrella, which she has not seen before. I start every session with her, whether it be training or just hanging out, by picking out all of her feet. I find this is a good way to keep her in a good mindset when it comes to handling her feet. And I also noticed that she's been moving around a little bit ouchy recently, so this also makes it nice and easy for her to feel comfortable picking up her feet even when she's not sure because of how she's feeling. We've had some pretty yucky weather recently, and there's a lot of mud in their pastures, so I do think that she might be getting some retracted sole, which I'll make another video about here in the next week or so. She's been really footsore on gravel and in mud, and it does look like there's a big ridge along her toe, which is a pretty telltale sign of retracted soles. So we're going to get that worked out and try and figure out what's going on there. So here you can see I'm giving her positive reinforcement for picking up her hoof, and you can kind of tell that she is picking it up for me. All I do is run my hand on the inside of her leg, and she knows that if she picks up her foot and lets me mess with it, that she will get a reward afterwards. I know a lot of people can feel a little iffy about positive reinforcement because it might make them feel grabby, but it has made Hoku and I's relationship so much better. We've really been able to communicate a lot better because I think she understands what I want so much more clearly. I've also started, and I've actually done this for a good while now, but I almost never have a lead line on her. I hardly really halter her anymore unless, like here, I have to get her around somewhere, because it gives her the mindset of, hey, I can move away and not feel restricted, but I can also come back when I'm ready. So here you can see she came to me after I shook the umbrella around, so I did give her a reward and a treat. And this will continue throughout most of the training session, really. But you'll be able to see her progress throughout this. And it's really interesting to think, because I used to use negative reinforcement primarily when training, and she was still confused. And I know that's mostly on me, and that I wasn't releasing her or removing pressure at the right times. But here, I mean, she's a pretty skittish horse, but here she's so much more confident already. I will have to dig up some videos of her when she first came to where she's at now for training, because, man, it was brutal. She was so skittish, she was so neurotic, all that kind of stuff. She really had a hard time when I moved her down here, which I'll talk a little bit more about her and I's journey in another video, but with positive reinforcement, I can kind of tell her exactly when and why I'm rewarding her, and she just gets it so much more than she did ever when we didn't use positive reinforcement. So here I've sped up the video just because it is so much repetition, but that's really what it is with horses, especially horses like her that are pretty neurotic and can easily kind of lose progress without a lot of either repetition or just consistency in general. The repeated motion really sets in stone for them that, hey, this is not something I need to be afraid of. It's never hurt me before. It won't hurt me now. And I'm so serious. This carries over in every aspect of training. So this is just a lot of repetition. I'll shake the umbrella, I'll reach out to her, and if she touches her nose to it, if she is the one to initiate that contact, she will get a treat. And her treats are just ration balancer and alfalfa pellets. I've had to try to cut out a lot of sugar, as she is definitely a horse that is prone to metabolic issues and through that laminitis. Lots and lots of repetition here. She's more connected with me. She's reaching out for the umbrella, knowing that that's the right thing to do, knowing that, oh, this isn't so scary. I can touch it. It's not going to hurt me. And plus, I get a nice yummy reward afterwards. I never have her haltered or tied now when I do her feet, because she stands there and she's willing and she's letting me do these things because she knows it's not going to hurt her. This is something that she's confident around because she has so much experience with it at this point, and she's just such a better-minded horse when things are done slowly, consistently, and over and over and over for her. I think this applies to a lot of horses too. And I actually caught myself just the other day. I was working with Gambit the Mustang, and I found myself being, for some reason, a lot more patient with him than I was being with her. I was really beating myself up over that because that's really so unfair to Hoku. Just because she's a domesticated horse does not mean that she doesn't deserve the same kind of patience that I'm willing to give a Mustang. I didn't even really notice that I was doing it until, I think it was actually this session. I was working with Gambit earlier on haltering, and we're doing the same thing with him with positive reinforcement. So he puts his nose into the halter, and he understands that, hey, this thing's not going to hurt me. I can let it rub on my face, and I can also take my head away if I need to, which is okay, and I'll still get a reward for being brave and for touching the scary object. Anyways, and then with Hoku, I kind of found myself saying, oh man, I don't understand why you're so scared of this. Like this, I've never done anything that would make you afraid of this. Instead of being like, hey, it's okay to be scared of this. You can take your time. You can step away. You can smell it. You can flare your nostrils. Your eyes can get wide. You can do all of those things as long as you understand. Robin's not going to hurt me. The umbrella's not going to hurt me. And there's no reason to be afraid of it. And now here afterwards, I'm just doing some stretches with her on her side. She has some recurring back soreness, so we try and do at least a little bit of PT every single day. We haven't been riding in months, and it still comes back, so we're working a lot on proper body carriage, hoof health, and angles, and all that kind of stuff. So she has been a super fun horse to work with the past couple of months because I've learned a lot in doing so. And that's why I made this channel. So I can tell you guys what I've learned, and you guys can tell me how to do better or offer advice, all that kind of stuff. So together we can create the perfect Appaloosa mare.